All right, welcome back to the Gear Beloved YouTube channel. Today we are prepping for a show. Bridge the Gap, band I work for, has a show coming up July 29th, and we need to make a couple little tweaks to the pedal board and make sure it is all dialed in and ready for the next show. All right, it's always a good idea before a show to go through all your gear. Make sure it's set up nicely, the neck's adjusted, fresh strings on it at least 2-3 days before, at least 3 days before. I try to do about a week, give them plenty of time to break in, adjust on the neck. So if I need to tweak it and make it play perfect, I will. So it falls on my shoulders to make sure all the sounds and everything are correct. These guys can just go on stage and go slay it. So my nose. Ugh. Okay, so not only do I run their sound and then in-ear monitors for the show, I'm also going through the finalizations of the pedal boards to make sure they're all dialed in. They've gone through a lot of testing. You'll see in a second the state that the board is in after I had it perfect. Stuff got switched around because the guitar player's like, I need a couple different things up front, a couple things behind. So everybody's different as far as what they feel comfortable with stepping on a board on stage. They want certain things up front. That's their most prime spot of real estate. The things that they think they're gonna need to hit the most need to be in the very front row. So we've kind of worked out, hey, this is what he wants. There's one pedal that was kind of like clutch on the tone. That's the Analog Man King of Tone. This guy, right here, boom, King of Tone. Did videos on the different stuff. Check that back out. You know, it's awesome, sounds amazing, but we're not making enough. Like the band is not making enough at this show to justify bringing something this expensive and this rare. Like that's just dumb, that's irresponsible. If you're not getting paid enough for a gig that warrants the really expensive stuff that you have, like don't bring it. Find something else that'll change in for it. So I'm gonna try a couple other things as far as soft clipping goes. Yellow channel is what we use, yellow channel. So Morning Glory, I'm gonna try that. Last time Jeff was here, he liked the fat boost. So I'm gonna try this relationship to how it sounds through the amp. By the way, it's the 606 EVH and EVH white cabinet. Like that's what we're using. That's what was recorded with. That'll always be the lead guitar's rig. So as far as the amp goes, I don't know if this is gonna cut it. Warhorn, I'm gonna try it. And then a pedal I'm not as familiar with, Mesa Clio, but it's another really cool kind of like clean preampy, maybe slight texture. I'm sure I'll know right away whether it's a good or it's an out. Like I'll know right away, like as soon as the notes are played. Luckily, Chad wrote all the parts except for the solos. So he knows exactly how to play them. Not the exact same pick attack and same picks as Jeff, but we can get it pretty close. And my goal is to get as close as I can to the album with Chad playing it and then see what Jeff thinks in the future video to see if did we get it right? Did we get it right? Did he like the tones that we came up with? How I have it set? I'm gonna do a quick dial session with him to see the overall knob position and how he actually attacks in place. And then we'll get after it. So let's go clean up this freaking horrendous mess of a board, and we'll get after it. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you guys in nice and close with the camera and show you kind of what the cables look like, what the board originally looked like. I left it just as dirty. I'm gonna clean it, but I just want everybody to see, like, some people need to learn a lesson about taking care of their gear better. Just saying. But here we go, let's get after it. Okay, so got foot switches now in the front row, copper sound, stutter pedal, telegraph, analog delay, hardly gets used every once in a while for lead. Flanger, a couple of the songs have a good flanging part, so that's important to go there. Digitech drop, tuner will always be the same. This is the pedal we're changing out right here. And then ISP decimator, and then boom, out to the rig. So we are gonna rewire it all. And I mean, it's just like, there's just hodgepodge of just crap everywhere, a bunch of like disconnected power supplies. I'll flip it over in a second, but the cable management OCD has just killed me on this. Like, this is just terrible. Just let me switch it. I'm here every week. All you gotta do is make a note, tell me, I'll switch it, have it perfect for you next time. It's fine, that's what I'm here for. Let me know. You wanna change stuff, happy to help. Anybody in the band, happy to help. All right, boom. Flip this sucker over. All right, so you'll see what I'm saying. I mean, just freaking cables unplugged freaking everywhere and not cool. So I'm gonna cut all the zip ties, fix all this crap, and then be back and show you guys playing through the EVH. Boom. And then the EVH cab down here. Obviously I gotta reset the mics. I'll do that. I'll reset the mics before I come back. Okay, cool. All right, let's go. Until I feel the pedal board is in the final mode, I'm gonna throw a couple zip ties on stuff where I know the power's not gonna change, but my goal is to get it as bomb-proof as possible before the next gig. So that's what we're gonna do. So removing off the prototype thingies, twisties, clearing all the power cables out that don't need to be there. There's a lot of extra freaking power cables. Just look at all that freaking many. There's 9 pedals. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Hashtag friggin' tech frustrations, yo. Like, what the hell? Like, tech work can be a pain in the ass sometimes. All right, let's get after it. See if we can make this fast for you guys. Okay, so we had 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, just sitting there, zip tied in, not hooked up to the power supply or any pedal. 4 cables. Could use these other places. I got lots of boards. Can always use more of these. All right, so if you're ever, messing with your own board, prepping it for a gig, prepping it for a studio session, have all the supplies you need, have extras. I did not have to stop any projects because these 4 cables were on this board. I have extras, so have extras, extra cables, all different types of extra cables, all of them, XLRs, guitar cables, power cables, anything you might need to swap out on the fly once you get to a gig or once you get to the studio. Be prepared. And the more prepared you are, the more the engineers or whoever's gonna be there helping you do sound, especially if it's not anybody you know, your stuff's rock solid and you can figure your own stuff out, or have somebody like me on board where I can figure it out. It's my job to worry about that. But if you don't have somebody like me and you're just getting started, figure it out yourself. Like, learn how to do this, make it nice, make it clean, make it count. All right, so we'll ditch these and show you kind of how I chose to put the zip ties where I want the lines to go. One little tweak that I would make once the board is finalized after I talk to Jeff, and that'll be exactly how short I trim one of these cables. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so as you can see, I have all the power routed nice and clean. It's gonna come out of this nice bend right here that naturally follows this bigger, fatter cable. It's gonna kind of use it as a guide. So this goes from this row up here to this row right here. So it's just kind of the order that it's going. I might tweak that to make it sound better, but we'll get into that in a second. But this is where I wanna run all the lines. So spider's off nice there, right there, right there. So it's gonna be like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 zip ties. So not gonna be a lot, but I'd rather just use a bunch of zip ties and then cut them. Who cares? Like, they're super disposable. Use as many zip ties as you need. All right, so now we got Chad in the room, and now he's gonna go through the different riffs, and I'm gonna say, hey, okay, this is where I like on the King of Tone. These are the tones that we want exact. Then we're gonna try and throw some of the other pedals at it. So let's go from there, see how close we can get. All right, let's do it. Okay, so Morning Glory. Next, Morning Glory, we're gonna try this, see if I can get it to sound pretty close to how that was, and go from there. First done. Let's go for this. Let's go for this. Okay, so this is off, Morning Glory's on. See how close, or if we like it, if we're going to immediately change it, I'll know pretty fast. I'll know pretty fast. Okay, let's go. Okay, so that wasn't the exact tone, but it is totally acceptable. I know there's not a lot of like pick scrape attack. I know that's a big thing of Jeff's. He does not want that super stabby razor like attack on the front end. He likes it a little bit squishier, wants it to breathe a little bit. But I still want to meeten it up a little bit. Like the blue channel on the EVH is already pretty ballsy, so you got to be very careful where I'm going to take it for this player so he doesn't end up feeling like he's kind of in the weeds and like, oh, he's muddied out, he can't hear himself. Like I'm going to make sure he can hear himself for sure. So that's my job, to connect those dots. What I'm here for, connecting the dots. All right, let's get after the next one. I'm gonna try the Mesa Clio, just for fun. We'll try that next. All right, let's go. Okay, so Clio, no. Sounds great, just not right for this tone that we're going for. So let's try the Warhorn, but I'm pretty sure the Morning Glory is going to be the one that wins out. But let's try the Warhorn out. Let's go from there. All right, next up is the Fat Boost, which is, to my ear, very, very similar to the Warhorn. So let's see how close I can get that one. I think they're both going to be a good candidate. This is the one that he found that he liked last time he was here. And so we'll see if we can continue on. We're going to start with where it was set, where he likes it, and then where I think he should be in the mix, which is slightly different. Might even had to go a little bit brighter on the mids when we're actually at the venue, but I'll be able to control that from the mixer, so it's fine. What he hears and what the crowd will hear might not be the same thing, because if he wants his chuggies, I'll give him his chuggies, but it's got to be right in the mix, so it'll end up sounding good in the long run, no matter what. Okay, go. All right, thanks so much for stopping by. I had a blast down in those pedals. I think either the Warhorn Fat Boost might do it, but Warhorn or Morning Glory is kind of my preference as far as tone, where I think he should sit in the mix. So we'll see what he thinks when he comes in a couple of weeks. We're gonna do a video together and we'll see how close we got. It's a fun way to verify, you know, did we do it right? Did we get close enough? I think it sounds pretty darn good. I think those two are my favorite. Since we can't take the King of Tone out, I'm not taking that to a gig. No, not worth it. So if you liked it, throw a like. If you want, throw it in the comments. What was your favorite? What was your favorite? If you like one of those pedals, like, hey, I wonder how it would stack with something else. Dude, hit me up. I'm always down for video ideas. And right now, with just a small group watching, I'm happy to do more custom videos. Like, you want a concept doing it? Like, it's fine. Like, I'm happy to. So, yep. Thanks so much for stopping by. Peace. Check and turn on the amp. Never. Oh, let me mute the lav. You're retarded. Exactly. Yeah. So you're retarded.